So we're going to have a pretty close race tonight.
Yeah, both of these runners 3-1. A win will earn them an automatic bid into the bracket rounds at 4-1. And then, of course, average times being a huge factor as well. WhenChukAttacks has quickly become a very skillful runner in this game, although he's been around for a long time. And then, of course, K-Mac needs no introduction. Was blow for blow with Lack Attack last week, and we have a route divergence right away.
Yeah, we're seeing K-Mac take the 3-first route, which is the arguably more advanced, more difficult route. And it looks like Chuck is going to head over to level 2 first. So these two are going to split off right off the bat.
So, Amo, you run 2-first or 3-first primarily, or do you run them both?
I stick with the 3-first route primarily.
All right, so I like to always talk about it whenever we have a race with the divergence early like this and the differences in the routes. As you see K-Mac trying to earn a bomb drop from these dark nuts. The primary differences, I think, are going to be these levels that K-Mac's going to be tackling first, and that's levels 3 and levels 4. Yeah,
they're two challenging levels to start off with. So level 3, obviously you got to take out a very RNG-dependent boss in Manhandla. With only 3 hearts, and you're going to be looking to manage your bombs well in level 3. So we're going to see K-Mac, he's building up his count here, and he's going to be looking to force a bomb drop in this room of dark nuts.
When you say force a bomb, what does that mean?
So, K-Mac's got to be careful here. He's down to 1 heart. So forcing a bomb involves killing your 10th consecutive kill without taking damage with a bomb, and that will force that enemy to drop a bomb for you. So bombs are especially critical in the early part of the 3-first run, because bombs do magical sword damage. They do 4 HP of damage. So picking up bombs early allows you to clear these dungeons a lot more quickly than you otherwise would with just that wooden sword.
Absolutely, and you'll see that a lot in levels 3 and 4 right off the bat. K-Mac having a bit of a rough start. He's low on bombs. Meanwhile, Chuck is rich on bombs as he's the first to a boss. We see Trolldongo go down in a very nice fight. Chuck is out of level 2.
Yeah, and meanwhile, K-Mac's going to have to track down some bombs here. He's going to need to bomb through 2 walls to get to Manhandla, most likely here in level 3. And he's only got 1 right now, so he's going to have to either force a bomb. Maybe we'll see him go up and pick up that safety bomb. Oh, he got a force random there. Very nicely done by K-Mac.
That was either really good luck or really good counting, but either way, K-Mac goes from poor to rich in an instant, and here we go. Here's Trollhandler.
Yeah, let's see how he does with this fight. He's getting a spawn all the way on the far right side of the screen. He gets 3 of those heads and picks up the 4th one. Now, he doesn't get a bomb drop off of Manhandla, but he's at least through level 3. He's survived it, and he's still got 4 bombs heading into level 4.
So as K-Mac prepares to head to level 4, Chuck is going to be headed to the White Sword, which is the biggest difference in this route. And going into level 3 and level 4 with the White Sword takes away a lot of the bombs that you have to get to move through those levels safely and quickly. And it also, he's going to have a ton more health to deal with those dungeons with as well.
Yeah, so some of the time lost from doing the 2-first route is going to be made up for with a little bit of a combat advantage with the White Sword, being able to mow down some enemies a bit more quickly. And Chuck's going to, wow, he does a really nice job with this blue Lionel on the White Sword screen. So that blue Lionel gets in your way, and he'll do 2 hearts of damage if he hits you with one of those beams. And Chuck's just able to stun him with the stab there and clip right through him to grab that White Sword. That was really nice.
Yeah, Chuck's having a very nice start to this run, and against an opponent like K-Mac, again, K-Mac, of course, needs no introduction. He's one of the legends of this game, sub-30 runner. You have to have a run that is clean to make up that time difference in the route, and so far, Chuck is having a very clean run. Look at these screen scrolls. Who is this guy?
Yeah, he's flying down to level 1 right now. Meanwhile, K-Mac's down to 2 bombs right now, and now down to 1 bomb as he heads into the breakfast room. So I hope that he's on account and he's looking to force here in the breakfast room. Let's see if he gets his force. Yeah, there he is. You're going to want 2 bombs to finish off level 4 for 2 more bomb walls. So nice bomb management from K-Mac here.
Yeah, it's absolutely crucial. If you don't have at least 2 bombs, then you have to go the long way, and the long way involves yet another Manhandler. And with the wooden sword and 4 hearts, that's almost a guaranteed death sentence. And dying in a dungeon, it's not as bad as dying in the overworld in the tournament rules, but it is still very, very bad. We've seen some runners actually have to have been disqualified because they've attempted to go through level 4 without bombs, and it came back to bite them.
Yeah, that's a good point, James. So we saw K-Mac take a bop from that bubble on his way out of the breakfast room, and that's to reset his count. Again, down to 3 bombs here, so he's going to look for another force right before he gets to Gleeok here. So let's see if he gets that force.
K-Mac has a little bit of trouble with that ladder clip in the dark, and that is not an easy ladder clip to do. Setting up for a bomb here as he collects what we call the error key. He'll kill some of these keys to get his count up to where he wants it. And as long as these buyers cooperate, he should be all right.
Yeah, that's a nice bomb there. His count was at 9, so he only got 1 buyer, but he only needed to get 1 buyer to pick up his bomb pack. So Chuck's making his way over to Aquamentus to finish off level 1, and K-Mac's got beam swords heading into this Gleeok fight. And takes 2 quick hits, though.
Yeah, Gleeok quickly showing why he is one of the biggest, if not the hardest gatekeeper in this entire run. Came back down to 1 heart. He's got to be careful here. Oh, and he avoids the death.
Very nicely done. I think what you're seeing there is just an experienced runner who knows how to play that Gleeok fight conservatively when he's low on health.
Yeah, death there is catastrophic. That would have put Chuck in the driver's seat. But ladies and gentlemen, we have us a race. So as Chuck heads to level 3, K-Mac will be headed to level 1, which you just saw Chuck complete. And then he'll be headed to level 5, where we'll get to see the blue dark nuts. So level 1, you're going to see K-Mac really concentrating on building those counts because he's going to want more than 4 bombs.
Yeah, we'll see him try to build up a count a little bit on his way into level 1.
Also, he's going to have to probably look at getting more rupees, or else we may see a double hundo route from him.
Yeah, or a red candle route. I know K-Mac runs the red candle route fairly often.
That's a good point. As he performs the pirouette, we saw Chuck do that earlier. Was that a glitch?
You know, it's a little weird quirk where if you walk into a dungeon with a key door straight ahead of you at the very top of the screen, walk out of the dungeon and go back in, that door just magically opens up for you. So, you know, this is true in your original Legend of Zelda cartridge that you've had since you were a kid, and, you know, it still works to this day.
Yeah, it's a trick we see featured a lot in the randomizer as well. Ooh, K-Mac takes a bop. He loses his count, does not get a bomb. That's bad news for K-Mac.
Yeah, so JSR, if you take that bop and you're down to 2 bombs as you grab your bow, are you immediately thinking backup route, red candle route, or are you still hoping to pick up a force?
Well, if you're asking me specifically, of course not, because I'm a fool. See my race last night with RC Drone. But I think the smart play is a lot of runners will see their bomb count, especially considering that K-Mac's only got 22 rupees. I would not be shocked to see level 2 next. But that's really runners' preference on how comfortable they feel with the wooden sword and the room of requirement. How comfortable they feel like getting the hundo secrets and going that route, or forcing bombs on the way to 5. It's really runners' preference.
Man, and meanwhile, I mean, Chuck is flying through level 3. He got some great bomb drops in that dark nut room before grabbing the raft. And he's on his way to his manhandle fight. And he's got 6 hearts for this fight, so he's going to be in a little bit safer shape. 6 hearts and 6 bombs.
And that white sword. So if Trollhandler does what he does and trolls him, at least he's got a fighter's chance. Here we go. Oh, and he gets the Trollhandler and recovers nicely. Well done.
Plus the bomb drop. So K-Mac's out of level 1 with 22 and 1. So it's not really the resources that you want to have. And I mean, if you're watching a Legend of Zelda race for the first time, you hear James and I talking a lot about resources, but especially early on in this run, it's about managing the number of bombs you have and managing the number of rupees that you have. So it really plays an important role in routing and how quickly you're going to be able to get through this run.
I think K-Mac just answered my upcoming question on where we're going to see him go. He uses his last bomb to get through Heart Rock, so I can almost guarantee you we'll be seeing him headed to level 2 here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And then, of course, the game gives him a 5 rupee, because, of course.
Right, just when you commit to the other route, you get your 5er.
That might have been a forced one, but regardless, K-Mac will be headed to level 2. This is a small time loss. One of the many backup routes from the world record route that we see 3 first runners do. The 3 first route, not only difficult because of the required combat, but as Amo was saying, resources so key to be able to running this route, and it becomes quite the learning curve for the 2 first route runner to switch over to the 3 first route, because rupees and forcing them as well as bombs becomes such a priority.
Yeah, and Chuck getting all the bomb drops in that NSU room in level 4. So I think one was a force, and then he got a rando as well. So he's got 8 heading into the breakfast room here. He's gets grabbed by a leg click, but again, with the white sword, the breakfast room is a little bit easier to mow down without bombs, and he's not even going to use any in there. He's just going to get right through, grab his step ladder, and then head to his Gleeok fight.
Yeah, very nice breakfast room for Chuck as K-Mac enters level 2. We'll have to ask him if that was his planned route from the get-go, or if that was a backup route. Here he'll get plenty of chances to refill those bombs before level 5, though, as well as plenty of chances for rupees from these ropes.
Yeah, K-Mac's going to look to at least have 40 rupees when he gets out of level 2. And that's because you need at least, he's going to pick up 100 secret after level 2, and you need at least 140 in this run to spend 80 on the arrows and 60 on the meat before level 7. So he picks up a 5er there in that rope room, so he's going to be good to go rupee-wise.
So as K-Mac forces a bomb on the Lamelas, the Moldurms, well done. Chuck gets to fight Gleeok, and you'll see a major difference between what K-Mac had to endure and what Chuck gets to enjoy.
Yeah, 8 stabs with that white sword compared to 16 with the wooden for K-Mac, so Chuck just kind of, really smoothly takes down Gleeok there, no trouble whatsoever. Meanwhile, K-Mac, with a really quick Dodongo kill, he just gives him that nice, turn to the left pattern, so we got a simultaneous Triforce grab here. Chuck has to head up to, well, I think both our runners are going to be heading to level 5 right now, right? So we might get a little bit of a sync here.
Yeah, and to answer the question in chat, it's kind of difficult to tell who's really ahead when you have 2 runners running 2 different routes. Routes usually will converge at the red candle in level 7. So right now I would say the edge probably goes to K-Mac, but it's not as big as you would think.
Yeah, and Chuck's actually doing his shopping right now after level 4. He's going to grab his meat from this first shop underneath the Armos, and then he's going to go grab his arrows at the shop, the screen right underneath.
Not a bad strategy at all. I imagine we'll see him world wrap immediately after this, but why not? You're in the neighborhood anyway. You've got the required rupees. Hey, save yourself a couple screens later on.
Yeah, I like this routing choice.
So K-Mac has 8 bombs now. He has the required rupees he needs to beat the game, and pretty much that confirms red candle route for K-Mac. He'll scroll through this screen, avoiding the up the mountain ahead clue we got as kids, and he'll be headed into level 5, where we'll see blue dark nuts for the first time, and that's very important. Why is that?
Well, these blue dark nuts that we're going to see first on K-Mac's side in level 5 do 2 hearts of damage, and the blue dark nuts guard the recorder, which is a required item in the original Legend of Zelda. You need to kill the boss at level 5, and we're also going to be using it for transport around the map. So those blue dark nuts guarding the recorder make level 5 particularly dangerous, and with the wooden sword, they're going to take 8 stabs from K-Mac as he makes his way through, but he's probably going to be using some bombs in there to take them out with 2 hits instead of 8 hits with the sword.
Yeah, and also they do 2 hearts of damage, and K-Mac's already down 2.5, so he's only going to be able to take a few bops before he's in trouble. Let's see how his rumor requirement goes.
Yeah, he'll be looking for these dark nuts to bunch up so he can drop 1 bomb and do damage on a few at the same time. He gets a few with that bomb right there, so that's going to help out. Gets a couple more and takes 1 of those dark nuts out. There's still 5 left.
Only down to 2 bombs. Okay, let's see what he chooses to do. He has 1 bomb remaining. I imagine we'll see him use it. There it is. Okay. 2 more Dark Nuts remaining. Can he take them out? He should be able to, but you never know. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, and once again, this is where you anticipate having a veteran player know how to play this room conservatively if he's out of bombs. But notice on the right there, so Chuck has done his shopping. He's headed to level 5, and again, he's got the white sword, so if he runs out of bombs on those Dark Nuts, they're going to take half as many hits with the sword as K-Max will.
Yeah, and keep in mind, K-Mac has the lead, but Chuck has already done his shopping and has the white sword, as you mentioned. So, not only that, K-Mac has to pick up the red candle in level 7. Folks, we have us a bona fide race here.
Yeah, this is a tight one right now, and obviously a pivotal room is this room of requirement with the Dark Nuts, and Chuck is making his way in there right now. So let's see how he does with this room. He's got 8 bombs going in.
Unfortunately, they all turned twice in a row. That was a shame because they were all bunched up nice. Just bad RNG for Chuck. As K-Mac deals with these Gibdos, he'll be the first to head to the level 5 boss with a little bit of a heart refill there, so he's in decent shape.
Yeah, and K-Mac's going to try and force a bomb off these Dodongos. Most of the time when you think of killing a Dodongo, you need to feed the Dodongo 2 bombs. But if you can drop a bomb either on a half tile or hit the Dodongo with the smoke from a bomb, you can actually kind of stun the Dodongo, stab him with the sword, and he will force a bomb every single time. So K-Mac leaves that Dodongo room with 8 bombs, which is big heading into level 7 after.
Yeah, and unfortunately, K-Mac had a few Troldongo moments there. That's going to give Chuck another opportunity to gain some ground back. Even though K-Mac appears to be ahead right now, I'd give the edge to Chuck. This is a really good race, folks.
Yeah, and Chuck's doing the same thing here. He's looking to force bombs off of these Dodongos, just like we saw K-Mac do. And he does a good job getting out of there pretty quickly with 8 bombs.
Into the Dig Dogger fight, K-Mac's going to drop a bomb, immediately switch to his recorder. Using the recorder allows the bomb's timer to run out for sword stabs, and easy peasy, K-Mac the first out of level 5. Let's see what happens coming out of 5 here. Chuck already have purchasing his meat and his arrows. K-Mac has to buy those still, so we'll get a good idea of where our runners stand in just a few short seconds.
James, I'm calling it now. I think this race is going to come down to that end game, as we see in so many races, right? Who can execute the best in level 8 and level 9 coming down the stretch?
Oh, absolutely. And you see that all the time. It doesn't matter if it's the top runners in the world or a newer runner. Level 9, as it is in Rando, is typically called the moment of the run where runs go to die. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your skill level. It is the great equalizer. And we'll have to wait and see how these runners do as K-Mac does his shopping. Both these runners, very capable runners. Make sure everybody watching gives WhenChukAttacks and kissmyafrocard a follow. These runners are putting on a great show for you tonight. Make sure you also follow the Speed Gaming family of channels for more Zelda action throughout this tournament.
Wow, and Chuck is going to beat K-Mac into level 7. He'll be the first one into level 7 right here, which is amazing.
Yeah, and with the white sword here, he's going to be able to make quick work of some of these rooms, so he may be able to stretch his lead out a little bit more.
He's putting together a really solid run. He seems really comfortable with the route, and he's just executing perfectly.
K-Mac fortunately does have 11 rupees. You only need 2 more from this point to beat the game. So he'll have a good 9 arrows at least here for this river room.
But we're not seeing him switch to arrows right here.
Yeah,
oh, he was looking for a bomb force, I think, and then he took a bomb from that Gorilla, which is going to be dicey, because you're going to need some bombs this back half of level 7, and being at 4 bombs right here puts him in a little bit of danger, actually.
Oh, man, not only that, he's used some arrows to get out of these Gorilla rooms, takes some bops from these Gorillas. He's low on health, low on bombs. He may need to clear this Gorilla room out. This is going to give Chuck an even greater advantage.
Yeah, probably not the level 7 K-Mac was looking for.
Yeah, Chuck is on a blistering pace as he picks up his red candle. At 1950, we'll see where K-Mac grabs his candle. Now, again, the race is far from over, no matter who's in the lead at this point, with levels 6, 8, and 9 still to come. Those are, of course, the 3 hardest levels in the game. And as you were saying, Amo, this race could turn on a dime at a moment's notice.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where, so K-Mac's red candle was about 2010, so that was about 20 seconds behind him. But this is one of those moments where you start to wonder if the racers are watching each other. I mean, does Chuck know that he's got a lead on K-Mac? And as the game gets into that end game, is he gonna feel the pressure of K-Mac bearing down on him if he's you know, having a good level 8 or a level 9?
Wow, K-Mac does that brilliantly. Low health, no rupees for arrows. He switches to his newly acquired red candle, clears that Gorilla room out in blistering time, and not only does he get his required bombs, but he gets a ton of hearts and a fairy to get his health back up before we get to this reverse seed that you see Chuck clearing with the red candle as well.
Yeah, Chuck had a little bit of trouble in that Wallmaster room, and K-Mac's going to see the same pattern where in the red candle route, those bubbles tend to be a little bit more aggressive. So we'll see how he handles that room. Again, Chuck ended up having to switch to Candle, I think, in that Wallmaster room. So he lost a little bit of time there, but he's still got a lead as he heads into Aquamentus to finish off level 7. K-Mac's heading into his transport stairs, so he's right behind him.
Hey, Mo, we got us a race, man. This is getting really good as Chuck grabs the level 6 Triforce at 21-28. K-Mac caught on his heels. We're headed to level 6, where we get to face another new enemy.
Yeah, it's Wizrobe time in level 6, everyone's favorite enemy in this game.
Am I the only person on the planet that actually likes fighting Wizrobes? I kind of think it's fun.
I think you're the only one, James.
All right. As Chuck heads into the graveyard, he has the required 12 heart containers to pick up a nice upgrade here.
Yeah, we got the magical sword coming up. Not the Master Sword. You're playing Link to the Past, you grab the Master Sword. But if you're playing the original Legend of Zelda, you are grabbing the magical sword right here. So why not quadruple the amount of damage you do?
Well, in Chuck's case, it's double, but either way, he'll take it. At 22-16, he grabs his sword. We'll see where K-Mac grabs his. And as he heads into level 6, as Amo alluded to not too long ago, we get our first glimpse at Wizrobes.
Yeah, Chuck picking up a bomb drop off those orange Wizrobes, so he's got 8 bombs, which is a really nice spot to be in heading into level 6. Chuck's in the Belfry right now. Let's see how quickly he takes care of these keys. Oh, gets hit by a fireball there, and then another fireball. They're kind of rushing to the corners, but he makes it through okay. He's going to be heading into his first magical breakfast room.
As we alluded to earlier, execution is going to be a key factor in a race this tight, and Chuck, with a slightly sloppier Belfry than I'm sure he wanted. K-Mac, meanwhile, keeping his beams, has a very nice Belfry, is closing the gap room by room. Let's see if he can keep this up.
Yeah, this is going to be a great finish. K-Mac dropping a couple bombs in that Wizrobe room, especially after taking a bubble hit or two. So probably not the magical breakfast room he wants either.
Oh, he gets bubbled again. Unfortunate.
Wow. That magical breakfast room not being friendly to either player. So here's Chuck in the second magical breakfast room. Magical brunch.
Oh, wow. And a nice brunch it was up until he got bubbled right there. Able to use 1 bomb, but that was a very nice magical breakfast room for Chuck.
Yeah, I got to grab a mimosa at that brunch. That was nice.
It was K-Mac's turn into the magical brunch room as Chuck heads into the final section of 6, where he'll pick up this key in this room, and then he'll fight a boss. At least, I think he'll fight a boss. Will he?
Don't blink. If you do, you might miss this boss. You know, Goma's going to take 1 arrow shot right to the face, and then he'll be donezo.
Whew, I didn't know if he was going to pull that off, but he's through level 6 as he picks his recorder at 24-35. He's headed to 8.
Yeah, it looks like Chuck's at least maintained his lead through 6, which is really impressive. So he's going to whistle over to level 8 as K-Mac heads up to his free boss fight.
Of course, K-Mac's health is a little lower than Chuck's was, so factor the refill in as well for this lead. About 20 seconds at the Triforce grab for Chuck. And as we alluded to earlier, this is a very important race for Chuck. At 3-1, both these runners, a win guarantees them a spot into brackets. However, Chuck's average a little bit higher than K-Mac's is. K-Mac can probably still make the brackets with a loss here, but Chuck really needs this win.
Yeah, that's true. And right now he's playing a race that shows he's in this thing to win it, right? He's not just looking to put up an okay time. He's looking to take the W, and right now he's got his lead in the first Blue Lagoon here in level 8.
And a solid Lagoon as well, only taking 3 hearts of damage, picks up a heart and then immediately gets popped for his reward. But very clean Blue Lagoon number 1 for Chuck, and as K-Mac enters 8, Chuck a few rooms ahead at this point.
Yeah, Chuck's taking a little bit of damage here in this second Blue Lagoon, and the blue Dark Nuts are in the health drop group, and right as I say that, we get a fairy drop out of
the sweet, merciful fairy. Chuck just trying to get through that room without damage. He finally does. He'll be the first of the level 8 boss, Gleeok, and even though he's got 4 heads, it's a little easier than when we saw earlier, huh, Amo?
Yeah, that magical sword's gonna let Chuck take him out with 9 hits total, 3 for the first head and 2 for each subsequent head. So this should be a pretty quick fight on Chuck's side. K-Mac's in his Blue Lagoon, and he's taking a little bit of damage too. Again, he gets a couple heart drops here, but K-Mac is still playing catch-up right now.
Yeah, this is a crazy race up to this point as Chuck finishes off Gleeok, again with a very small health refill. For a dungeon where runners typically take a lot of damage, K-Mac is going to have a little bit of a larger refill, so Chuck is maintaining this lead as he heads into the final level of this game, level 9.
And Chuck's going south to grab a potion here.
Now, this is about a 40-second time loss, so what this is going to do, as long as K-Mac can finish off Gleeok, and he does, this is pretty much going to knot this race up, folks. This is exciting.
Wow, they're going to be high-fiving coming out of level 1. This is insane.
I think Chuck's lead is going to be less than 10, maybe 10 seconds or so at this point. But with Chuck having that potion, K-Mac's going to have a bit of pressure on him. He's going to have to execute at a high level and not die. But, folks, we have a race.
Well, and Chuck with that potion, sometimes when you've got a potion, you can play a bit more aggressively in level 9, right? You can go after enemies a bit more in some of those Wizrobe combat rooms. So Chuck's in a really great position here to be the first one into level 9 and to also have that potion.
And again, like you mentioned earlier in this race, you wonder if the runner's listening to the restream, potentially watching the other runner, maybe factoring into K-Mac not opting for the potion here. He's headed straight in. He knows if he is watching or listening that he has to go for broke here. Good magical breakfast room for K-Mac. He gets through, retains his beam swords. Chuck did take 1 heart of damage as he heads into the first blue Wizrobe room. He'll be attempting to skip Patra 1 here.
Yeah, it's possible to run up through these little satellites on Patra 1 first and then get through the key door. He does a great job of doing that Patra 1 skip, so he's into the next room right now. Well done from Chuck. Wow.
Yeah, very nice. Doesn't take any damage, retains his count, and here we go. The next room, the first required Wizrobe room in level 9.
Yeah, K-Mac takes a bop on his Patra 1 skip. He gets through, but losing those 2 hearts of damage is tough, and Chuck picks up a heart, so he's going to have beams coming out of these passageway stairs.
Yeah, Chuck is only one next room in front of K-Mac at this point. K-Mac is going ham and gets a fairy, which he needed desperately. Nice room for K-Mac.
Yeah, that's going to close the gap a little bit for K-Mac, but Chuck is still just flying. I mean, he's putting together a great run right now. We're going to look for his Patra 2 skip right here. So if he can clip into this block and get into the stairs and avoid that Patra, he does. And K-Mac with a clutch bomb force as well. He was down to 1 bomb there, so he really needed that bomb force to finish level 9 off.
So now with Chuck having only 2 bombs, no bombs for combat here, gets a good pattern to start. And the bubble leaves him alone as he heads into this reverse C.
Oh, he does take a bubble hit there.
Meanwhile, K-Mac has 2 bombs for combat. They're in the same room at the same time. And Chuck gets bubbled again.
K-Mac was able to use some bombs in that room, and that helped him get through a lot more quickly. So K-Mac closing the gap a little bit here, grabbing these, going into the Silver Arrow stairs as Chuck is on his way out. Look at this race.
They're in the same room, and K-Mac got a fairy, and they both got the crotch sword at the Silver Arrows. We have a tie game, Kappa.
Oh, Chuck gets the backup reverse block clip there. That was pretty clutch. That's a very tight movement to execute in that room. And K-Mac just flies right through it, so that gap is even closer now.
Oh no, and then Patra 2 does not let Chuck through. And K-Mac gets through. Wow!
Oh, but K-Mac and the likes. So we're a half room behind, folks.
Literally a 2-second lead as Chuck heads into the trap room, takes a blue Wizrobe beam. K-Mac hot on his heels into this room. He's got 2 reds and 2 blues to deal with. Taking a few bops, he may have to consider a potion here. Meanwhile, K-Mac just murders the room. Wow!
We're a second or 2 off here, folks. That potion for Chuck is moot in terms of winning this race, because if he takes the time to use that potion up, he's going to lose in maybe 10 seconds or so.
Potion at the ready for Chuck. He's got 6 hearts remaining. He can survive a Hyrule Driver. He misses the first clip, but so does K-Mac. They both miss it.
Oh no, this last block clip. Yeah, it could come down to a Ganon pattern. It could come down to who handles his Patra 3 more quickly. So let's see how these fights go.
Into Patra 3 simultaneously. K-Mac down to 5 hearts.
This is unreal.
Patra 3 kill. Chuck with a 2-second lead into Ganon.
But K-Mac switched to arrows already.
Oh, K-Mac gets an early bubble, but he gets the lock! And he
K-Mac with the stun lock.
Holy moly! It's gonna come down to who dot-duns first. K-Mac takes down Ganon. Chuck takes down Ganon.
Wow, GG to both of these runners. It looks like K-Mac is going to finish in first place with an official SRL time of 32 minutes and 55 seconds. Chuck finishing right behind him at a flat 33 minutes. So a 5-second difference. Both of these runners, GG, what a finish.
Officially the shortest margin of victory so far in the tournament. What a comeback for kissmyafrocard, coming from almost a minute behind in level 8 to steal the victory at Ganon. Unbelievable.
Wow, James. I mean, anything can happen in level 9, and I mean, there's so much I want to talk about. What a finish.
Unbelievable. The choice to get the potion possibly being the major factor in the comeback, and Chuck never even used it.
That's true. He didn't use the potion, but I mean, in a 5-second race, you could look at any little choice that was made during the race as a deciding factor.
And joining us in the commentators booth are our racers, kissmyafrocard and WhenChukAttacks. First and foremost, fellas, GG, what a race. How are you guys feeling?
Oh, stressed out.
Oh, man. First off, congratulations, K-Mac. That win clinches your spot in the brackets, but Chuck put up a very good time as well. That might be what you needed to get in as well. I wanted to ask you, Chuck, did you have the restream up at all on your way to 9?
I did.
Okay, so going to get the potion, you had a close to a 50-second lead, leaving level 8. And with the match coming down this close, the potion might have been the biggest factor in the comeback, and it's a shame because you never even had to use it. Yeah. You had a really strong 9.
I knew I've been finishing runs lately without the potion. I knew that, but I still wasn't 100% confident, and I didn't want to take the chance to lose the race and worsen my average time. Once we get into the brackets, I might be a little more ready to forego the potion for the win attempt. But my main goal here was maybe to win if I could, but more than anything to just finish with a good time to bring my average down.
And to be honest, in that case, I totally agree with you. Your time in this race is probably strong enough. I think at this point it almost guarantees you're going to sneak in at the very least. And definitely your play tonight as just the epitome of just how much runners, in your case in particular, have improved. And you are a strong contender in this tournament and really showcase that today, sir.
Well, thank you.
Meanwhile, our winner, kissmyafrocard, sir, going 4-1, clinches you a bracket spot. How are you feeling?
That feels good. That's the win. It was nice to get the win. That's about the only thing that went right for that entire run. I struggled all the way through that thing. Like, there was, well, 9 wasn't too bad, but the rest of it, ugh. But it feels good to have clinched. I felt like I probably would have made it regardless, as long as I just put up a decent time. As far as with the race, per race average, should have gotten top 20, but I'd rather not. I'd rather just be in with the 4 wins. So, but yeah, I mean 3, like I just played poorly. I shouldn't have taken a bop off that dark nut. That screwed my counts up, and yeah, 4 almost dying. I took 3 Guerilla hits in 1. That was weird. There's just some really weird oddities to that run. I don't know. I'm glad I got the win. That's all. That's what matters at the end of the day. But yeah, that was stressful. Stressing the whole time.
Same.
So, were you planning on running Red Candle route from the get-go, or was that because you were low on bombs and rupees?
Red Candle's my go-to. Like, I'm used to running it. I'm comfortable running it. It's easier just to try and have a quicker early game, because I know I'm going to be able to get the rupees I need. I'd just rather focus on bombs, and which apparently bombs are a real struggle this run all the way through. But no, I normally run Red Candle unless I have good counts. Like, even when I'm just, running for PBs, like I'll run Red Candle unless I have, 30 and 6 or better, leaving 1. So it doesn't lose that much time. I don't know. Unos probably knows better than I would as far as the time differences, but it's not a huge time difference, and it's much safer for me, in my opinion, in a race route. You have more hearts for 5, which you can take. It affords you a few extra bops off dark nuts if your combat is not up to par, which mine isn't a lot of the time. But the counterpart to that is you're going to leave with 1 less bomb unless you're carrying a count to Dig Dogger. And it's not hard to build a count, but it's costs time to build a count to get a 9 count up to Dig Dogger most of the time. But I feel safer, like I'm not going to die in the, what is it referred to, the room of requirement?
Or as Arcus likes to call it, the Olive Garden, because you only come for the breadstick.
Yes, only for the breadstick. That's right.
But I mean, even those Dodongos in level 5 K-Mac, I mean, they just weren't cooperating.
Yeah, they were jerks. Yeah. Like when I dumped my last 2 bombs to get the first bomb, I'm like, I don't want to set one and then miss and then have like I'm like, all right, I'll feed them both to that one and get one, and then yeah, there's just about everything that could have went wrong for me, other than short of dying, just about went wrong there. Like bombs, poor combat, the dongos, Ganon. I almost could have died there as well. I was down to 4 hearts, and I just took the corner route and hoped for the best because I missed the sword swing.
And that actually was the difference in the race. The first time you had held the lead, as far as we know, because of course with Chuck running the 2 first route and you running the 3 first red candle, we didn't really know who was in the lead until about right at the end of 5. And your comeback didn't really fully realize itself until Ganon, because Chuck had about a 2-second head start on Ganon, but he did not get the stun lock and you did.
Oh, wow. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have to watch this one back. It was intense. The entire race.
I want to.
And, it was a great finish.
I'm glad it was entertaining, and yeah, glad to be moving on. I'm hoping Chuck's average race time is good enough to move on. Deserves to, especially with this race. That was stressful. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I imagine both of you, I mean, obviously K-Mac is in no matter what, but I am pretty sure, unless some craziness happens, that Chuck, you'll be moving on as well. And folks, make sure you follow both of these runners, not only because of their Zelda racing, but all around good streamers. And I wish you both the best of luck in the bracket stage, and I can't wait to see it. GG, you guys.
Thanks, GG.
Thank you, GG, Chuck.
All right, folks. That's about going to wrap it up for the Zelda 1 tournament tonight here on Speed Gaming. Make sure you follow all the Speed Gaming channels for more Zelda 1 action, as well as all of your favorite speed games, randomizers, and more. Amo, what a race, man.
Unreal. I mean, it just goes to show you, I mean, you know, you talked about level 9 it really being where things tighten up, and so many little things can make a difference in this race. So even after grabbing silvers, Chuck took a couple extra seconds to sword down a lot of patch or 2, whereas K-Mac just kind of tore right through him and, you know, was going to live with the damage. And just a few seconds there, that kind of little decision could make such a difference in this race. But wow, I mean, both runners deserve to be in the brackets. And I don't know about you, I don't think I want to face either of these runners in the brackets.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting next round, and there's more exciting Zelda 1 action to come tonight. At 11 p.m. Eastern, RKC TKC takes on Math Guy 86, and at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, Redbird Grad taking on BT. That match, another matchup of 3-1s, both vying for their tournament lives. Those will be over at twitch.tv/JSR2Gamers. And a ton more matches coming up. Make sure you guys check the links in chat for the schedule and more. On behalf of my co-commentator, Amo22, this is JSR2Gamers signing off. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys have a tremendous evening. Take care, everybody.